Coffee with a Chair was recorded before a live studio audience.
Welcome to Coffee with the Chair. I'm Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It's our pleasure, our honor to facilitate this event. We do it every single month. It's always on, I'm going to say the first Thursday, and everybody's nodding in agreement, so I got it right. It's the first Thursday. It's 8:15. It's free. It's open to the public. We do it right here at the SLC TV studios at the corner of 25th and Virginia, and we do it with our partners through their generosity and their support. And of course, Michael from Steamworks, they provide coffee in Danish for anybody that attends. And A&G Concrete Pools is our sponsor. And today we have Patty Junta from A&G. We've had Patty with us before.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Remind everybody what you do for A&G.
I am the office manager for A&G. I've been there for 24 years. So
24 years.
Yes.
I've always noticed Travis and Gina and Sandy and Art before that, they always keep people a very long time. Yeah.
There's not a big turnover at
No.
all. You know, it's nice. There's people been there even longer than I have been there. So it's nice. It's really nice. It's more of a family.
How long's Lily been there?
I've been 24. She'll be 23 next year.
Okay, so
so
you
she's
guys,
right behind me.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Now, we always talk about, because A&G does so many philanthropic endeavors here
Yes.
on the Treasure Coast, and typically that's what we talk about. I mean, we would like to remind people, if you're looking for a pool, you need repairs on your pool,
Yes.
you're designing your dream house,
Absolutely.
make sure you reach out to A&G, not just because they're the best in the biz, but because of the philanthropic work that they do. We like to repay those that invest in our community. And that's, I think, the biggest reason why you go with A&G, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, payback.
That's
It
right.
goes around, comes around.
Pay it forward.
Yeah.
Right?
So tell us a little bit about like what you like to do and what are your favorite things. Because Travis makes sure everybody there does a little bit of something, right? He gets you involved in something.
Oh yeah. I'm not designated to anything, one particular thing, but I like going to the United with Poverty. They just did the 80s prom.
We did just do the 80s prom.
I like being involved with them. I think that they're doing something that's very good, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, United Against Poverty is sort of a hand up. They do some training.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that they have a discounted grocery store.
Yes.
So you can shop with dignity.
Yes.
It's not free food. It's a grocery store experience at a lower price.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you're on assistance, it's going a little bit further for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that program.
Good.
And I think they're doing really well. You know us, we're in Boys and Girls Club, and we do the Mets games. We honor the vet before the game. We're out there for everything. I love to go to the Mets game. I love to honor a vet. My dad was in the service. My son is in the service now. So it's nice. I like to.
Where's your son?
He's here. He's in the National Guard.
Okay.
Hopefully not getting deployed to Kosovo, but we're hoping not. But
right before Christmas?
It'll be next month.
Okay.
So he's just waiting to hear the yes or no. So I'm hoping no, but he's like, whatever. It's his job. He's been doing it for 23 years, so,
And sometimes that's what they signed
that's
up
what they
for.
do. That's what they do.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Good. So I know that they also have Christmas for Kids.
Yes.
Which is a huge.
That has grown even since when it first started. I have seen it grown so much, and the community, is amazing with their donations to that.
Yeah.
And to see the kids' faces when they light up is amazing.
Yeah, I know that last month when they get the fire trucks out, when they delivered all those presents, and I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And for everybody watching the show, check those pictures out on Facebook, because if you really want to feel good.
Yeah. It's a good feel good.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Wrapping parties and everything.
Yeah. So you can see all those pictures from wrapping to delivery are all on Facebook now.
Absolutely.
So, Good.
Absolutely.
So it's a new year. January starts a brand new year,
yes.
And we're going to see record growth again in Florida.
Good.
So I know A&G Pools will be very, very, very busy.
Absolutely. We've added a couple people to our staff, so I'm kind of excited to see where that's going to go and what they're going to do for us and make us a little bit better than what we already are.
Oh, salespeople? Or?
No, more higher up.
Okay.
Better communication, better customer service, that end of it. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where it's going to go.
Good.
So, yeah.
Did you make any New Year's resolutions, Patty?
No, I don't do that.
You don't?
I don't ever keep them, so I don't ever do that.
I don't ever keep
Did
them,
you?
but I always make them. Yeah, I always vow to curse less.
Oh, yeah, that won't work for me.
No, it never does. Never has. I try though, right?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can try all we want.
All right. Well, I'm going to try again this
Okay,
year.
you try. I'll try too.
I'm doing good so far,
There you go.
but
I'll try.
you know, it's January,
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, I'll try too.
Okay,
Okay?
very good.
I'll call you.
All right, call me.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
remind me. Call me. Text me. Remind me.
Hey,
Don't-
you're not cursing, are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, one day,
Okay.
day at a time. Well, I want to thank you very much.
Absolutely,
As
thank you.
always, I want to thank A&G,
Of course.
Travis and Gina, and
Yes.
everybody at the A&G Concrete Pools family
Of course.
for
Thank
everything
you.
that they do here
Thank
in
you.
the community. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
All
Thanks
right.
for
Well,
having
Happy
me.
New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
All right.
Thank you.
And we will take a break and we'll be right back with our Board of County Commission chair. And guess what? It's Jamie Lee Fowler again, everybody. You're gonna clap. Welcome back to Coffee with the Chair. I'm still Teresa Aronson, but now I'm joined by the Board of County Commission Chair, Jamie Lee Fowler. Everybody, please welcome her back for her second year.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be chair two times in a row.
Yeah, it's sort of a precedent now, so don't
Yeah.
everybody get excited. But I mean, we should be excited. but I'm
Nothing like
happy.
downplaying it,
No,
right?
no, I just didn't want anybody to get up like there's craziness going on. It's not. You know, the chair
No.
before you did 2 years.
Yeah.
And so now we're doing a bit of 2 years at a term. I like that. My board chairs do 2 years.
It's something we've started to talk about over the last year or so, honestly. Your first year, again, you're getting acclimated to that role, and pretty much by the time you're coming out is when you're hitting your stride. So it makes sense to give
Yeah.
people 2 years. And then it also helps to create more continuity among the boards that we get appointed to. Less moving around, less shifting around, which means we get to be more educated in those areas.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. We have my board chairs come on with goals, and by the time you're installed, you become the chair. You've already lost a month, maybe 2.
Yeah.
So you have 9 months if you're lucky, you know, because the last month is pretty much over. So you get 9 months to reach those goals. So
Yes.
it makes sense. And then you're right, you know, we sit on some boards together. The first year's a learning curve.
There's scenarios that on the surface seem just sort of like so common sense, sort
Yeah.
of one of those, duh, why wouldn't you? But then you understand that there's
You
red tape,
peel back.
there's statutes,
Yes.
there's, you know, interpretation of those statutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I know. So, you know, we've got that data center,
Oh,
and
I sit on no committees for that, thank
Right.
goodness.
I just want to take a few minutes, because obviously I read what's out there on social media.
Oh, why do you do that?
Yes, I don't know why I do that to myself, but I do try to make sure that I don't respond. I do a pretty good job not doing that, because you just never win on social media.
You
But
don't.
one of the things I'd like to just talk about is sort of really what was originally proposed. As we know, they've taken a pause. They're supposed to come this month in front of us. No date certain yet, so I feel like it probably might even go into February
Okay.
before it comes before us. It has gone in front of our planning and zoning board. Okay,
Yes.
so you know, it's out there that the Board of County Commissioners has denied the project. That is not accurate.
Okay.
Planning and zoning denied the project. That is a citizen-led advisory board.
It is.
With appointments by the 5
Mhm.
of us commissioners, an at-large from the school board, or an ex officio, excuse me, from the school board, and a couple of at-large appointments. So there's always sort of that misunderstanding when something doesn't make it through them. People think something is squashed, and that's
It's
not the case.
because it's advisory
Correct.
only. It is not
Correct.
judicial.
Right. So what has been proposed is a quote $15 million or $15 million, 15 million square foot data center, a hyperscale data center, which would most likely be used for AI computing. Now, it would not be one building, 15 million square feet.
Right.
It was being proposed stage 1 as 1 to 3 million square feet with 300 to 400 jobs during that phase 1. Of that 1,200 acres, if it did reach full build out, it would only be 172 acres that would actually have structures on it, that would actually be built on. So 1,200 acre parcel, 172 acres is all that would be built.
Okay.
Why this piece of property, right? Why this ag land? Let me just start with, we can't control when that for sale sign goes up. We can't control who buys it. But the biggest thing really, right, is if an owner wants to sell it, we can't stop them. And so the community says, we'll buy the land. We haven't voted to tax ourselves an extra half cent to have money to do that.
Right.
Currently, our only mechanism to do that is through the Florida Community Land Trust, which those pieces of land that can be bought through there have to meet a lot of criteria. They have to
do sit on that committee, the Land Acquisition Committee.
I do as well now, actually.
You do?
I do. But it doesn't meet very often. It's only as land comes available, when there's money, all the things.
And we don't have a lot of money to acquire land.
No, it's got to meet a lot of criteria, environmentally sensitive, all the things. So a 1,200 acre parcel of fallow citrus land does not qualify. So that is why we cannot
you can't buy land to stop improvements.
Correct.
That's not what the land trust is for.
Correct.
And
so that's why we can't do that.
No, you cannot.
I'll take that a step further. Why this piece of land? Because that's where FPL has their big KV transmission lines. That's what they look to. That's the power sources that they need. So wherever FPL has their KV lines throughout the state of Florida, I guarantee you can expect proposals for data center development along that corridor, basically.
Oh yeah.
Within that vicinity, within reason. So I think that answers sort of those.
I think, and we had a presentation from the representatives at our Economic Development Council board meeting.
Yep.
Lots of boards.
I know.
And I know another concern was that it was going to increase our rates for power, but what they are conveying is that it should decrease that's what they are conveying.
So back in November, they went in front of the Public Utilities Commission, and it was FPL did. And built into that 1,928-page submittal was a large load, an LLD tariff, basically, a large load distribution tariff, which was built in specifically for data centers to ensure their current power needs and future power needs would be put on their backs and not the residents.
Right.
So that has been done. What I can tell you from the research that I've done, and I'm still very much watching videos, reading articles, talking, having conversations. Northern Virginia is sort of the epicenter of data centers. So we can really look there and sort of see what has gone wrong and put those guardrails in here. 'Cause there's 5 of us, right? So I don't know where
the others
everyone
are.
will be at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
at the end of
And
the
you
day,
can't
we
talk
want
to
to
them.
make sure, we want to make sure that our power needs are not compromised. We want to make sure our water supply is not compromised. Now, they are saying that they will not use any more water than what is already currently permitted through South Florida Water Management for that piece of property, which I think is something like 2.2 million gallons a day. So they're saying they would not exceed that. Can it go bad? Can things go wrong? Absolutely. Are there some states that have put in moratoriums? Michigan, Georgia? Yes, they have. Reason being is because there are no standards right now. There's basically they're by right builds, like Virginia, by right builds. So these states are saying, hey, this isn't the right way to do it. Down here, we have public input. There's a process. They don't have those processes in place. So that's why they're pausing and putting those in place so that they can make sure that they're hearing what the residents' concerns are. Northern Virginia doesn't have closed loop systems, meaning it's like leaving a faucet running. The water that they need to cool it, it never shuts off. We would have closed loop systems. So think of a bathtub, you fill it up, you're done. It just continues to circulate. Very different. Those are very old data centers built in technology now over the last 20, 30 years, right?
Advanced.
Like everything else,
Yeah.
they're cleaner, they're more efficient. So we know a lot of the negatives, right? What are some of the positives? Well, quite frankly, the most obvious, right, is tax income. Loudoun County, Virginia has been able to reduce their taxes to the point where they are the lowest property tax rate in Northern Virginia. They have some of the best schools, some of the best roads. They're able to put $63 million a year into an affordable housing fund. I look at that and I say, okay, that we could do that here, or maybe that's how we fund purchasing land for conservation. Maybe exactly what we're afraid of is the mechanism that produces our desired results in the end. So, you know, again, I think the framework is out there.
Yeah.
I think if it does go through, I think we can be savvy enough to ensure that we put in all the safeguards possible.
Nothing is ever without risk.
Correct.
But reward very rarely comes without risk,
Yep.
right? But given the climate of the state on property taxes, and you know it's going out for referendum, and you know
Something
how the
is.
general public votes typically when it comes to taxing themselves.
We're taxpayers at the end of the day too, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
generally the public does not like to tax themselves.
Correct.
So we need to get creative, and so I don't know, but it's risky. I don't envy your need to make a decision on that. I'm glad that's one board I don't sit on. I have no decision to
I don't
make
blame
here.
you on that one.
Yeah. So because that is very controversial, but there is a lot of things, a lot of moving parts, a lot of variables.
Yeah.
And things that can get away from you, but there are things that we have complete control over as well. I like the idea of the setbacks they've given us. I like the idea of it not changing from ag. You know, this is a conditional use. We'll see what happens. But yeah, planning and zoning did deny it, but they have advised denial. They didn't deny it. They advised denial.
Correct.
So that's the difference. Is they're an advisory board.
Correct.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot going on. We are never short on things to talk about here. Because you said to me yesterday, I don't have a guest. And I was like, I don't think we need to worry about it, right? We're good. There's plenty to talk about. What else should we touch on? I mean, it's crazy. It's a brand new year.
December was a whirlwind. I don't know. I'm still trying to settle down.
I feel like there was just 2 weekends in December because the holiday fell on a week. I feel like it just flew by.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully, and this year's going to fly by as well, again, as it always does.
Yeah.
Um,
I think last time we might have talked about impact fees. So that has been done.
Yep.
Book closed. We decided just to go up the 25%,
Yep.
phased in over 2 years, which means not extraordinary circumstances. And
happy about that.
yeah,
That's-
incremental, very small increase.
City of Port St. Lucie is going to increment as well. So it looks good for developers.
Yeah.
Commercial development is how we pay for new infrastructure, but also we need to get them here in order to pay for it.
Absolutely.
So it's a catch-22. You want them to pay for it,
Yep.
but you have to attract them to get that money.
Indeed.
So it is a catch-22. So always a good compromise.
Absolutely.
If nobody's happy at the end of the day, that was probably the right decision.
Exactly. I say that all the time.
Yeah. Good. Anything else we need to talk about? Maybe we'll take some questions. There's not a
Yeah,
huge
let's do. Yeah,
audience.
we'll do questions.
No questions. The producers
Perfect.
have spoken. We're not taking
So,
questions.
no. Love it.
Okay, very good. I think that's really it. I'm
Yeah.
glad that everybody was, we had a great year last year. I'm happy to be spending the next year with you as well.
Likewise. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And don't worry, next month we'll have a guest.
Okay, very good. So I want to thank, of course, the staff here, my staff, and A&G Concrete Pools. As always, we're so happy to have them as our partner. And Michael from Steamworks, everybody. Get out there on US 1. Frequent your locally owned establishments, and Steamworks Coffee Bar is definitely one of those. So please do that. With that, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next month.